Hello everybody, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to our live Q&A. Today is November 12th, 2018. Today is when we celebrate Veterans Day. Veterans Day was actually yesterday, but most of America has off today, or a lot of America does, or some of America does. At least the schools do, which made it very easy to drive to work today, which was very nice. But just from me to all veterans of all countries who have served their country, thank you from me for that. This is my live Q&A, so if you have any questions, it is time to ask them. Go ahead and ask them in the YouTube chat area, and I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. As always, of course, I don't answer every question, but I'll try to answer a lot of them, and we'll have a good time. And so what a week. Getting ready. There's a lot of things going on. This is the last normal week for me of this year. That's the truth of it. Next week is Thanksgiving. The week after that is PAX Unplugged. The week after, 2 weeks after that are both of the Dice Tower retreats, and then the week after that is prepare for the end of the year, and then the week after that is Christmas. That's it. Woof. So I'm okay with that. All good. I'm only a month away till Melody comes home from college for Christmas vacation, so I'm excited about that. So there we have you. Do I live far from Dice Tower headquarters? I live about 15 minutes away, give or take traffic. It's not too far. I can walk home, although that takes like an hour or so, an hour and a half to walk, I think. I did it the one day. I won't do it very often. Melody's not coming home for Thanksgiving. I could only afford to fly her in once, so I figured Christmas made more sense. She's going to her roommate's house for Thanksgiving. Which case of Chronicles of Crime is your favorite so far? I think it was the last case. I don't remember what they're all called. The one in which... I'm trying to see if I can talk about it without spoiling too much. Yeah, there was a missing finger at the beginning of it. That was my favorite so far. The Dice Tower should do a back talk critiquing the Mojo Top 10 list that posted yesterday on strategic board games. Yeah, it's kind of a thing. I really like Mojo. They're great. I love their top 10s. This one was not the greatest top 10, but it was also not the worst. They did have Catan, Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, and they put Puerto Rico in as a alternate choice. They put Monopoly in there too. It was top 10 games that you need strategy for. Yeah, yeah, I'm not super pleased with the choices, but then again, they're just picking games that they know. So, hey, Catan, Ticket to Ride, and Carcassonne made the list. I'm kind of pleased about that. I don't know that I would go after them too much about it. Do you think Monopoly Game or Mario Kart are essentially the same game? They're really similar, for sure. Could you say hello to my son, Bastion? He's a week old. Yeah, but he won't even know that I'm saying hello to him. Hello, George. See, he doesn't even know the difference. How ready are you for the retreats at this point? We're getting ready. We're still building the libraries, putting things in, getting all the games ready. That's like a big portion of it. This week is full bore and just getting those libraries ready. Most of the other stuff we're prepared. Seriously, just how disappointing was Discovery Lands Unknown? I feel like I was pretty clear in my review. I was disappointed by it. People always ask me, after a review, they'll come up to me like, what'd you really think? Well, I told you in a review, I won't mince words. If I don't like a game, I'll tell you. If I like a game, I'll tell you. I'm not lying in my reviews. People are like, but what'd you really think? I told you. Tom, I'm sure it's been asked many times before, but I'm new to Dice Tower. So what's your favorite game of all time that you still get excited to play? Well, first of all, if it's my favorite game of all time, then I get excited to play it. If I'm not excited to play it, it can't be my favorite game of all time. Secondly, you're going to have to wait 2 Tuesdays from now, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So 2 weeks from tomorrow, we'll be going through our top 10 games of all time live. So we'll be doing it right here. What do you think the next trend on Kickstarter regarding new ways to lure people into investing? We've seen minis, metal coins, etc. I think the new trend will be get it now or never get it. A lot of companies are just going to be very blatant with the way they say that. Are you planning any more live sessions where you try out games like you did a few weeks ago? Yes, in fact, that's going to be next Monday, pretty much all next Monday. And it will be the following, before PAX Unplugged, you'll see some of that. A day or two of that. Do you think the $50 add-ons and model variety on Project Elite are important for increasing replay value? I don't know if you need them or not. Mostly when I play Project Elite now, I have everything from the first Kickstarter, which was a ton of different stuff. I'm pretty happy with the base game. I play with that mostly. Will the Dice Tower headquarters be open for gaming with non-Dice Tower personnel? I don't actually understand that question at all. Like we game here live on camera, but we don't often game here just to game here. We usually game at our local Cool Stuff store. Do you remember the first time you played Dominion? I do remember the first time I played Dominion. Who did you play with in your reaction? I remember who I played with. It was Scott and his 2 kids. Scott. I apologize for life, man. I can't remember his last name. But it was at Origins. We sat down. The game was not yet published. It was a prototype or an alpha version of it, which nowadays I probably wouldn't even do. But at the time, I was like, I heard about this game. This game was being touted as a better than Race for the Galaxy. And I was like, prove it. And then they put these decks on the table, and I was like, wait a minute. This deck, every card in this deck is the same? All right, whatever. This doesn't look that exciting. And we played it, and then I was like, wait a minute. Let's play again. Wait, what are these witches? What is this curse pile for? Let's play with that. And I finally had to like force myself to go to another table and play games. It was so good. So good. Had a really great time playing it. I really remember that moment playing Dominion for the first time. So when the actual set came out, I was really pumped to get it. Will the Talking Tower be a monthly show? I'm not actually sure about the frequency of the show. That's better for a question for Z. I don't know how often they're going to do it. Splendor, why do I never win? I don't know. I'm not the person to come to for strategy tips. Will Hell Hydra be in the con library for Dice Tower West? I'm not really sure what the library for Dice Tower West looks like at this point in time. We're slowly building that one up. So we'll have a lot of games in that one, but I'm not sure. What's hot for you on Kickstarter right now? Go watch Crowd Surfing. That's what I talk about, my Kickstarter picks and thinking about that. I just put one up last Wednesday, so there's a lot of good information in that one. What are your 3 favorite factions from Keyforge? Let me see if I can pull up Keyforge factions. Let's see if there's a list of them here, because I don't want to... Okay, I know the Mars Aliens is one of them. Let's see here. The Empire of Mars is one of them. Where are the... What are your favorite factions so far? There we go. Brobnar, Dis, Logos, Mars, Sanctum, Shadows, Untamed. Definitely Mars. I think Discord is the second one. I think Sanctum was the third one. So let's see what people say here. Okay, I mean, no. Those are probably that's probably the pack I'd want. Logos, though, is people's favorite faction, according to Board Game Geek, with 27.5%. In fact, Brobnar has the lowest one. They do have some cool monsters, though, Brobnar. The tie for the lowest is Mars. That's my favorite, and that's one people like the least. Nah. Well, that was interesting. Okay. Let's see. Back to questions. Did you play ColecoVision back in the 80s? I don't think I ever played ColecoVision. I played Atari, and I played the computer, the Texas Instrument computer, which needed a cassette tape to put in. Tunnels of Doom, which was a great game. And then I moved from those. Neither one of those was mine. I played other people's. And then I played my friend's Nintendo. But Commodore 64 was the first one I owned. And then I went from Commodore 64 to the Texas Instrument computer, the PC, TSR 2000? I don't remember what it was called. My 286, which I then bought and had Radio Shack install Sound Blaster in, which blew my mind. It was beeping, you put it in, and then when you first went Wolfenstein, and the guards were like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "What?" Talking, it was awesome. Duke Nukem, Commander Keen, played a lot of shareware games, essentially. And then I graduated from that computer. When I went to college, I got a Pentium computer. And then after that, I got a Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo for a while. I don't know why. Then I borrowed a PlayStation from someone at college and had that for a long time. And then I bought the Nintendo 64, which I sold to buy an engagement ring for my wife. A trade I've never even once, even slightly, regretted. Yeah, and so then I just jumped, and then I didn't really buy any more systems. I had in Korea, I had a PlayStation 2 for a while that someone had given me, and then I bought the Wii, which was great, and then I just stayed with Nintendo, right? I bought my kids DS's. I think I had a DS myself, too. And then we moved to when we came back to America, we got the Wii U, and now the Switch. And I would say that my gaming is basically Switch, iPad, and every once in a while something on the computer, but mostly Switch and iPad. Sad to hear Derek is leaving. Oh, so are we, right? This is, I mean, he wanted to move back home to Colorado, and he's taking up a job there. And so, yeah, I mean, we're sad to see him go. I would have loved to have kept Derek, and he's been a really great job here, done fantastic stuff on the Dice Tower. So we're looking for a replacement, I guess is the best word for that. So we put out the call for that, and we're looking at resumes and stuff now. Did you solve or successfully complete all 5 graphic novel ventures in your first read-through, or did it take multiple reads? I don't think I've ever solved one on my first time. Maybe. I almost always die. Any chance we'll get more Every Game is Awesome anytime soon? That's a really hard one to pull off. See, what happens is the Every Game is Awesome the death of that series is a direct result of us moving to the studio. See, when I did stuff for my house, I might work during the day, I might work at night. I just worked whenever I want to. Now we kind of keep 9 to 5 hours here. So that's when Jason works. So he can't come down and record with me, and I'm probably not coming over to the studio at night to record with him and stuff. So he used to come down to my house at night. We record several of them. So that's the main reason that series has kind of died off. Do you think that the rise in popularity of roll and writes is somehow connected to the emergence of legacy games where you also write on the game? No. I think there is zero connection there. Were you a fan of Qbert? No, I don't hate Qbert. That game just got boring to me after a while. I understood the idea. My dad loved Qbert, but it just didn't really excite me, that game. I like games that feel like you can go in and play them forever and ever and ever. Are you happy with how the Awkward Guests Kickstarter is going? You know, I haven't looked at it for a bit, so let's jump in there. Awkward Guests Kickstarter. I know it's doing really well. It was over 100,000 last I saw it. So where is it now? 141,000? That's crazy. 2,700 backers? That's really neat. And I'm really pleased that they are doing so well. That's really neat. That's just a simple deduction game, no miniatures. That's really fantastic. Yay for them. Let's see here. Why do you think there's a shortage of Christmas board games? Well, theme games don't sell that well. They just don't. I always say when a new Christmas board game comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. But it's kind of like you can only play them a couple times a year. If there's a Christmas themed board game, people aren't as keen to buy it in, let's say, March. They just aren't. So you're kind of hurting yourself a little bit. So it's a hard sell to get a company to do it. Horror themed games are a little easier because people are willing to, I'll play it at Halloween, but they'll also play it anytime over the course of the year. And before anyone asks, no, I've not played Betrayal Legacy yet. I have not even gotten it yet, but it is on its way here. So I will be looking at that one soon. Very excited about it. Will there be more thematic top 10s in parallel with the top 100, or must we wait for that? Oh, you can wait for that, but they're coming. They're coming. The top 10s, people don't realize sometimes how much work a top 10 is. Their work to put together, their work to edit and put, there's just a lot of effort that goes into them. And so to do multiples of them can be some time consuming. This week we have some videos very similar to that are going to be going up. The 12 Games at Christmas series, which again, there's a lot of effort and work that goes into those. And you'll see the first of those posts tomorrow. Oh, have you started playing Betrayal Legacy yet? But I said the question first. Answer first. What's the last good board game experience you've had? It's been so long. I just played games on Saturday. Wait, I played a game with my son yesterday. That's the last great. We played, what we were playing, Unpack. My son, though, it's fascinating. My son is not the brightest bulb on the planet in some regards, like with reading and getting his letters. He's only 4, so there's that. And some things you're like, but when it comes to like puzzles and building things, I'm a little impressed. Like I have like this little Tetrisy where you put the pieces in and solve the puzzle thing, and he got it out and was playing with it on his own, and he was solving them. I was like, oh, try this. Now he wasn't like a savant, okay, but it was like, you always look for what your kids are good at. Not every kid's going to be good at everything, and he was good at that. I was impressed. So we were messing around with that for a while. Like I would say, here's the pieces, and we'd put them in, and then I would get down to the last 3 pieces, and he'd figure it out. Especially when we were down to the last 2, he'd be like, I was like, very impressive. So that was fun. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Sorry. But I always have good game experiences. Top 10 Thanksgiving foods. All right, here we go. Number 1, and I know this is going to come as a surprise to people because you're going to think I'm going to say key lime pie. And I do love key lime pie, but number 1 is fried turkey. There is nothing on earth, meat-wise, that is as good as fried turkey. Fried turkey is number 1 by a mile. All right, number 2, key lime pie. Come on now. And you're expecting me to say pumpkin pie. And I'll tell you why. Here's my thoughts on pumpkin pie. I think pumpkin pie is fine. I don't dislike it. It's okay pie. But if pumpkin pie was as amazing, if pumpkin spice was as fantastic as everyone says it is, everyone's like, oh, pumpkin pie, ooh, then why don't you eat it in March? See, I eat key lime pie all year round. It's fantastic. I don't say, oh, I can't wait for the key lime pie holiday so I can eat key lime pie. So pumpkin pie, everyone's like, Thanksgiving, pumpkin pie, Thanksgiving, pumpkin pie. And then when Thanksgiving is over, no more pumpkin pie. Baloney. Okay. So key lime pie, number 2. Number 3, I'm going to say stuffing, but good stuffing. I got some really good stuffing from Williams Sonoma, anyway, some fancy store, and I liked it a lot. Now I found that stuffing somewhere else. But I add some dried mushrooms. You can get mushrooms that have been not freeze-dried, but some dried-out mushrooms. You put them in. Oh, my goodness, it's really good. 4 is, for some reason, I have this at every Thanksgiving, is some Cajun corn, where I take some corn and mix some sausage in with it, and yeah, okay. 5 would be mashed potatoes with cheese inside, but just fantastic. 6, pickled eggs. What? Pickled eggs at Thanksgiving? Yep, that's one of my traditions. 7, where are we at 7? I think for 7, I'm going to say a good ham, like a really good ham, but there better be some maple glazing on the ham. 8 is broccoli with cheese. 9, well, 9 I had at someone else's house, and now I want to do it at my own house. I haven't done it before, but I'm going to have roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon on top. So that's the thing. And then 10 is a deluxe fancy macaroni and cheese. Cranberry sauce is fine. I like it. I mean, there's a lot of things I like and all. But there you go. All right. Have you considered a seal recap at the end of the year? I think it'd be handy to have even just a plain text list of all the games that have received approval, excellent seals throughout the year. Oh, I have a better idea than that I'll be working on. It's okay if you don't answer this, but how does Dice Tower make money? Well, there's a little bit of advertising that goes on with the Dice Tower, but mostly it's from our Kickstarter that we run each January. We run a Kickstarter in January where the Dice Tower people like you support us, and it's fantastic, and we really thank all the people who support us, and that's how we get most of the money for the Dice Tower. Did I win the contest from Board Game Breakfast? I feel like I said it was a 2-week contest. Have you tried the Norwegian expansion for Feast of Odin yet? I don't have it. Stop rubbing it in. I've been searching. I looked on eBay. I looked on Amazon. I looked everywhere. I can't find a copy of it. I would have actually paid overvalue for it, but I can't find it. I can't find an expansion for Caverna either. Oh, well. Can we get a deeper insight into what Time Stories 2.0 is going to be like? I know nothing about it. I can't help there. Unrelated board game question, but with Thanksgiving right around the corner, are you more of a turkey or ham fan? Well, I like turkey better than ham. Ham's fine. Ham's great. Ham's amazing. But fried turkey is better. Sweet potato or mashed potato? Mashed potatoes. I do not like sweet potatoes. I'm sorry. At our house, every year, I make the Thanksgiving dinner. I've planned it out. This weekend, I spent 2 hours going through recipes, writing out all the ingredients, ordering some stuff online, getting ready to go to the grocery store. I don't cook very often. My wife does the majority of cooking, but I cook Thanksgiving dinner. That's mine. I'm ready. But I don't make sweet potatoes. Period. I don't like them. And I found that as a cook, I make what I want. If I don't like it, it doesn't get made. So sweet potatoes have always been at every single one of our Thanksgiving dinners because my wife likes them so much that she will make them regardless if I make it or not. It's a good marriage. Do you like the Magic the Gathering or parody sets? I do. Top 10 breakfast foods. That's just my top 10 foods. I don't know why we have different foods at breakfast than lunch. You should be able to eat any food any time of the day. Why would you be restrained by cultural restrictions on the foods like, oh, cereal is a breakfast food, and eggs is a breakfast food, and bacon's a breakfast food, but Reuben sandwich is a lunch food. What? Who made these rules? And every time I say this, people are like, I agree with you. We should be able to eat breakfast foods for dinners. That's not what I'm saying, you knucklehead. I'm saying you can eat spaghetti for breakfast if you want to, and you should be proud of it. Let's see here. You know, feeling you just described after playing Dominion first time, how often does it happen with other games? Oh, it happens every once in a while. I mean, when I play a new game and it's like, wow. I mean, I'm always, the most recent example I think is Chronicles of Crime. I was just started playing it and I was just like, this is so great. And I'll say that, I'll keep playing a game, this is great. I just played a game this past weekend that I'll be reviewing 2 weeks. It was one of the games from Essen, and I was like, it was not one of the ones that was high on it wasn't in my top 10 anticipated games. I was like, this is really good. I love that feeling. You talked about giving a sermon last week. What are your top 10 pastors? Nah, it's not a top 10 list I want to do. Will we get another Munchkin CCG review at some point for the new sets? Probably not. Most games that continually have sets and new expansions and stuff, I do not follow. I do it occasionally. I'll review games that have a lot of expansions, board games, and I'll follow some living games like Dice Masters and things like that. But for the most part, I just don't have time to do all of them. When you met your wife, was it love at first sight? No. I'm really suspicious of love at first sight. In fact, I don't even believe in love at first sight. I believe you can, like, think someone looks hot or handsome or whatever on first sight, but how can you love someone on first sight? Even after knowing someone for an hour, you don't really know them. I'm not even sure that I love my wife completely when we married. I mean, I thought I did, but my love for her now, 19 and a half years later, is so much stronger than it was when we got married. In unfathomable ways. But anyway, when I met my wife, she was with her roommates, who I had dated both of them actually, and I met her and she seemed nice. I was like, oh, she's nice. And then later on I met her again at a different function, and I was like, huh, maybe I'll ask her on a date sometime. As in, she seemed nice. I'm wanting to ask nice people out on dates. And so then I did at some point ask her out, but again, it wasn't with the, but that first date was a good date. So, and this is going to be this is not going to be something that makes sense to most people, but I went on a lot of dates. I would take people to church with me. I know a lot of people don't think that's a fantastic date, but that's what I did. And every time I did, I always held the hymnal upside down because I don't know, I thought it was funny. A lot of my dates did not find that amusing, but I thought it was funny. When I did with Laura, she attempted to sing the hymn backwards with me, and I liked that. That was good, and so I was very pleased about that. And then just, then on our second date, we played board games, which was fantastic. Again, I wasn't like this big board gamer, but I was definitely a big gamer, and so we played Boulder Dash. I remember that distinctly, playing Boulder Dash. And a couple card games and stuff, and I knew I really liked her after that second date. I was smitten for sure, and then we just kept dating and dating and dating and dating. I told her I loved her a couple months later. We got married 4 years after that, and like I said, I think real, true, actual love is not something that just happens when you meet someone the first time. I don't think you meet someone and boom, wah, 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 you fall in love. I think you can like someone, you can be smitten with them, you can have a crush on someone, but I don't think it's real, true love. Now, I do think you can have love at first sight with a baby. When that baby is born, you really love a baby. The reason I looked at my watch there is because it's November 12th. 8 years ago, on November 15th, is when Jack was born. So that's in my head a lot these days, but these days because of it happening. But I was just talking to Laura yesterday. I think I think we're done on the baby train. Jimmy is 4 years old. The next babies we'll hold in our hands will be grandkids, but you can fall in love with a baby at first sight. And if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know how that's possible, and when you have more kids, how you can, like, when you love a kid so much, how can you spread that love around? And for 3 kids, you can. Once you have 4th kid, then you have to actually start divvying up the love. No, you don't. So that is love at first sight. All right. Let's get back to normality here. All right, thoughts on daylight savings change. Oh, I hate daylight savings changes. I can't wait. I mean, Florida voted away, so hopefully the Congress will accept that. Now, I know it's going to be a real pain in the neck because we'll be in a different time zone than everybody else. Hopefully the whole nation will stop this. It's just a waste of time. And then everyone uses it. I talked to someone like yesterday, and it's been a week, and they were like, oh, the hour's still throwing me off. No, it's not. Stop using that as an excuse. Pac-Man or Mrs. Pac-Man? I always felt like they were almost the same game. Do you watch the Marvel shows on Netflix? Not really. I watched parts of Daredevil. I watched a lot of Jessica Jones, and they're too dark for me. I like my superhero movies and things to be lighter. I just finished playing the Choose Your Own Adventure game and want more. What game would you suggest? I would pick, if you like Choose Your Own Adventure and like it a lot, maybe Legacy of Dragonholt. Whew, I'm really far behind in questions. All right, I'll zoom through some of these. What is something you're looking forward to at PAX Unplugged and why? The food? It's Philadelphia, man. Are you thinking of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Yeah, I think I'm going to get it for my kids and me to play. I'm not like as dyed in the wool as some people are. I mean, Derek is like looking forward to it like a national holiday. I'm interested in it, but and I'll play it and I'll have fun, but I look forward to it like I look for any other video game. Is it out yet? No? All right. A lot of people keep asking me about Project Elite and all the add-ons and all the stuff on that. I don't know. I haven't gone through all that stuff. Get what you want. Let's see here. Are we seeing more of Amy and Crystal? I hope so. They should be doing more videos soon. We'll see when they show up. Well, Crystal's on every other week on Dice Tower tonight. Did you know Korean Nintendo stuff works in the US? Sometimes the built-in transporters can be converted to another power grid. I have no idea what any of that means. Will Derek bring the inflatable dude with him? No, dude is mine. I own him. First time to catch you here. Been a viewer for a long time, but trying to methodically watch channels so I don't miss anything. Yeah, I don't think anyone should watch everything on our channel. There's too much stuff. So I would just keep an eye on, you know, and just keep an eye on our website, dicetower.com, and see what comes out. Usually our biggest video comes out on Thursday, whatever it is, a top 10 list or whatever. Board Game Breakfast comes out on Monday, and live Q&As now. I am going to try to make the live Q&As at 10 a.m. all the time now. I know that's not good for some people, but I've found that if I do it at the same time all the time, I think that will help people know exactly when it's going to be. Have you visited Korea since moving? Yeah, I went there a few years after I left, back to my school for it, and I was like, oh, I missed it so much being there. Top 10 favorite dinosaurs. Whew, that'd be a long time to go through. Stegosaurus is probably my favorite. Let's see here. Themed board games don't sell well. You mean like Star Wars themed? No, I mean like holiday themed. Sorry. A game that's themed around a specific time of the year. Sorry, I didn't mean if I wasn't clear on that. Mario Party is loosely based off a roll and move game. What would you do to improve the game? Yeah, I know it's based on a roll and move game, but who cares about that? It's the fun of playing the party games in the middle. A lot of party games, if it's roll and move around a track, but then you do something else, it's that roll and move's just a side thing. That's the way it is in Mario. Tom, you're looking healthier these days. Wow, thank you. Have you been maintaining a healthier diet? I certainly have been. I've been eating less food. That helps a lot. And also I'm eating healthier, I suppose. I still eat some unhealthy things. But basically for me, it's whenever I see some food and I'm like, ooh, I want to eat that. Then I sit there and think, is me eating that worth the amount of calories that it adds to me? And then I usually say no to that. So it is what it is. But there's still lots of good, delicious food I eat. Like this morning, I ate a piece of key lime pie for breakfast. Every Monday morning, I can have one a week. I look very much forward to it. It's a rule I made for myself. Yesterday, I had sushi. You know, sushi's healthy, right? You know, I don't know. There's lots of things you can eat. Tonight, I'm having some Korean soup. So I'm just eating less food, and I eat small snacks throughout the day. I don't eat lunch anymore. I eat little snacks throughout the day. I eat a small supper, and I'm fine. And I drink lots of water. What's my favorite soft drink? Well, that's a good question right after I said I drink water. Red cream soda. Any flavored cream soda, blue cream soda, orange cream soda, those are all good too. I don't drink them very often though. Oh, here's a bunch of people saying they eat pumpkin pie all year round. Sure, great, but they don't sell it all year round. And they definitely don't have pumpkin spice coffee all year round. Why do you dislike the DC deck building game? I don't know. They're very simple. They're okay games. There's a lot of games similar to them. I just dislike how the theme is completely lost in it for me, and I like superhero themes. Wow, I'm really far behind. People are talking about my answers to the food thing. Do I have any service members in the family? Well, my uncle served in the Iraq conflict, the first one with George Bush. My grandfather was in World War II. One of my grandfathers was. I think that's it, actually. So, have you played the new Azul? We have, and our review of the new Azul is a Miami Dice review, and will be going up this week. Is there a breakdown of the Dice Tower financials available? I know it's personal, but, well, if it's personal, no, there's not a breakdown of the Dice Tower financials available, just like most businesses would not do that. I can promise you that I really try to not spend on frivolous stuff, but there's payroll, there's travel expenses to conventions, there's supplies, there's the rent for the studio, there's a lot of different things that our finances go to, and the wild parties, I think. Add a bit of maple to the roasted bacon Brussels sprouts. Okay, I'll give it a try. What about maple jalapeno? Would that be okay? Have you ever had sushi while playing Sushi Go? I have not. Are all the slots full for the December Dice Tower event? I think so. Played the Odin expansion 4 times already. It's great. Hang on, folks. I need to ban someone from chat. Does it bother you when people say the Dice Tower doesn't like heavy euros when several of your favorite games include Feast for Odin, Qbert, and Le Havre? I've given up on that. People are going to say that all. I've been playing like the heavier euros from Essen. I'm playing them. I don't know what else I can do. I enjoy. All I did this past Saturday was play euros all day long. And some of them weren't as good as others, but some were fantastic. There's like 2 or 3 really heavy euros that come out over the course of a year, and if I don't like them, people are like, not a Euro gamer. I don't care. Do you have a favorite tribal creature in Magic the Gathering? Minotaurs and apes. What's my favorite Dungeons & Dragons Adventure system board game? Of all of them, probably Legend of Drizzt is the best, but I did like the last one from WizKids with the jungle stuff. If your argument that you can eat any food at any time applies to breakfast, lunch, dinner, why not holidays? Why have a top 10 Thanksgiving food when it could just be top 10 foods? Good point. Good point. The hypocrisy is strong in this one. For a holiday, I will eat specific foods, but you're right. I'll eat any food I want on a holiday, and I definitely follow that principle on Christmas. I mean, most people are like, hey, you got a Christmas ham, and I was like, nah, I feel like doing shrimp and sausage. But I like turkeys a lot. I like fried turkeys a lot, and I like a lot of Thanksgiving foods a lot, and you can only really buy them around Thanksgiving time. Try to buy a turkey any other time of year, they're really expensive. For some reason, they're super cheap in November. Well, not for some reason, because of Thanksgiving. So yay, that's when I have them. Unfortunately, they're not as cheap to buy the rest of the year round. So yeah, I guess I do eat a traditional Thanksgiving meal, but I don't have to, and I won't criticize someone who doesn't. You want to eat cereal for breakfast, that's your choice. That's fantastic. But don't yell at me if I'm eating a taco. A lot of people are asking questions about Z and his stuff. You have to ask Z those questions, not me. Jane and I like watching your videos together. We built up quite a collection, only played together. She was 74 and passed away 3 weeks ago. I don't think I'll play again. What should I do with them? Well, you can find someone else to play them again, but maybe there's a local game group and you can play them together. It would be maybe a good way to remember her, to play games with other people. If you don't want to, that's fine too, but I'm sure there's a lot of people in your area who might want them. Maybe you want to pass them along to another young couple who will play games also. How can I find out when the live Q&As are scheduled? I looked on YouTube and DiceTower.com, but it wasn't indicated. And then boom, he's here. Well, like I said, I'm going to try to make this a more consistent thing. So I'll try to do it every at 10 o'clock every Monday for the Dice Tower Live Q&As. For other stuff with Dice Tower Live is set up, I also usually announce it on Board Game Breakfast. 11 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be doing a live playthrough of Imagineers. So keep that in mind, that will be coming out tomorrow. And we are probably going to be doing a live back talk this Friday. Dated both of my wife's roommates? Well, no, it wasn't like that. I never, actually, Laura was the first girl I ever dated more than once. I asked them out on a date, and they said yes. I went on a date with one, and I went on a date with the other one. I mean, I happen to know that group of girls well. I knew one of them from when I was in elementary school, actually, and so I met them on campus, and it just worked out that way. But I never met Laura the whole year. I hung out with her roommates a lot and stuff, and I didn't even, she was more of a bookworm, stayed in the room and studied and stuff. I wasn't really as much of a studier. So no, I was not. No one ever accused me of being a player, for sure. Which board game most accurately reflects your marriage? I hope any cooperative game without a traitor. Do you think they could reforge? Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. The best food at a food truck? I think I like foods at food trucks, period. I'm always interested in what they have to serve. I don't know if I've had any. Have you replaced poor Luigi? Luigi has been fixed. Actually, so when it happened, I'm always, people don't think I am, but I'm always very careful with my gavel hammer judgments. And I was like, man, these cards are like really good quality. I can hit them with a hammer and they'll be fine. I did not realize it would decapitate Luigi. It just happened. So I thought it was funny. So I took it out. And I left the camera recording and the mic on, and Sam was like, "What did you do?" And you can hear him a little bit in the video, and that's because we were out there. And but Sam used super glue and fixed them all up. He's fine. How do you decide who reviews that game? The person that's most likely to like it? Yeah, sure. Cruise is 61 days away. Huzzah. What is the lesson you learned about management over the course of starting and running a company? The thing about management, and not just here, but when I was a pastor and just different things you learn, is that you're the boss first and friends second. And that's a hard row to hoe, because you want to be friends. You don't ever want to make the hard calls. It's hard to tell someone and say, hey, that's being done wrong. It needs to be done right. That's tough, especially when they look at you like, who are you to tell me that? It feels, it's not a fun thing to do. When doing reviews, why do you not give out the score out of 10 in the review video itself? You give them out in the weekend reviews and look back, but not in the reviews itself. I don't like doing it, because I feel that people then just concentrate on number. Nothing else in that review matters. They only focus on the number, so that's why I don't do it. Stegosaurus is my favorite too. I've had lots of debates with my 6-year-old daughters over what's the best. Yeah. Most kids like the T-Rex the best, right? Oh my goodness, I think I should put a sign here that says, I have not played Betrayal Legacy yet. Does Laura cook meals from recipes she learned in Korea? Yeah, she does. Would using the movement mechanism from Tokaido fix Monopoly? Ooh, that's interesting. I thought that's an interesting thought, right? So you can move as far as you want around it, but well, you wouldn't be able to, yeah, but you would never land on people's properties, though. So I don't know how that would work. But maybe the first time around the board, you can go as far as you want, but then you can never go back. So would I like zoom up and take the first red property, forcing you to zoom up and take it a second one, or are you gonna let me get all 3 red properties? That's intriguing. Hey, Tom, my husband and I are saving to go to Dice Tower Con in 2019 from Canada. This is a huge thing for us. Any tips on planning our trip? Well, I would try to work something else in Orlando around there. There's a lot of fun things to do. It could be something small, just going around and seeing. I would maybe at one of the dinner theaters, maybe the big thing, Disney or Universal or SeaWorld. SeaWorld's the cheapest of the three, and I really do like it. Do you have Fanta Lemon in the U.S.? We do not. But we have a lot of lemon sodas in America, so it doesn't really matter. What's your theory for the next Avengers movie on how they fix or undo everything? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, they got to undo some of the stuff. It'd be interesting if they didn't, but I can't imagine that they... I can't have 4 of the Guardians gone. And Ant-Man especially kind of cemented that in, Ant-Man and Wasp. So I think they will get Captain Marvel and they'll build something and they'll go fight Thanos again. And it'll be a big epic battle and a couple of them will die. And then someone will get it and they'll bring everybody back, but it won't bring back the people who died in the battle maybe. But I don't know. I really don't know. I'm excited about it though. There's a key lime pie allowance and a Dice Tower budget. What's a big studio upgrade you're looking forward to? Not really working on studio upgrades right now. Canadian haters, other colors and flavors of cream soda? We have pink. Yeah, most cream soda in America is clear, or not clear, it's like yellow. It almost looks like beer, the same color there. That's what most cream soda looks like. But then there's red cream soda, which has a red flavor to it. And then specialty shops will make orange cream, which tastes like a creamsicle. Blue raspberry cream I've seen. And then there's cherry cream itself. Red cream is not quite cherry cream. It's a deeper, fuller cream soda. All right. Ooh. Excuse me, I'll be cute. Oh, yawning here. I'm not really tired. I got plenty of sleep. All right. Tom said I'm going to do them at 10 a.m. Florida time pretty consistently now. Too bad for us West Coast folk. Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's not going to be good for somebody somewhere. That's just how life works. Is Sam really the Switzerland of the group, like the latest Top 100 segment? I feel like that was a very specific to that Top 100 segment. I had fried turkey for the first time last year. It was pretty good, but I also didn't notice a big difference. Then it wasn't good fried turkey. Did you have it like right after they made it? That matters. How's Chief Sokoto doing these days? He's still not at war with the cats, is he? No. The war with the cats is probably something that will happen to the end of all time. And honestly, if we ever win the war with the cats, I would imagine that then Chief Sokoto can really, truly retire. I mean, cats, you don't realize how much evil cats have been responsible for. Now, here in our time zone, our time dimension, on our planet alone, cats are responsible for the Salem witch trials, World War I and II, and would have been World War III and IV. We managed to stop both of those. The Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Civil War, the 100 Years' War, the Mongol raids from China. There's just been a lot. I'm trying to think of a war that wasn't caused by the cats in some manner or fashion. But yeah, it's a tough fight. Happily, there's so many people on Earth who are not fans of cats that their stranglehold here is not what it used to be. I mean, back in the Egyptian times when they were worshipped as gods, it was a big deal. Fortunately, that's not the case today. You know, you watch Stargate and you see that and you're like, ooh, science fiction. Not as much as you might think. But yeah, I mean, there's active wars with cats in other galaxies and dimensions and things like that. I mean, where the cats there's full-on wars with them there. But Chief Sokoto does a good job. Mostly does behind-the-scenes work, a lot of different small, quick hit-and-run mission type situations. But yeah, it's an ongoing thing. Do you know when the rest of your Essen stuff will arrive? Nope. I know it will show up at some point in a big package and all. But as to when, don't know. Are you and your wife still friends with her roommates? Not really. We lost contact with them. This was that year, right? I mean, we change roommates every year usually, and so what was that? It was her sophomore year. It was my freshman year. We saw them. I wasn't unfriendly with them as our paths crossed throughout college. But one of her roommates dated my best friend for a while, and that didn't work out. But it wasn't like I might be friends with them on Facebook now. I don't even know. I never was like really great friends with them. I never was big on studying either. I always felt that you either knew it or you didn't. If you didn't learn it the first time, then maybe refresh if necessary. I like to point out, I am not in any way, shape, or form encouraging people not to study. You need to study. I disagree with that comment there. I think you should study to learn things better. I'm just saying I didn't study as much as I was supposed to. Therefore, I never study for finals and whatnot. You know it or you don't. That's not how life works. You can study and get better at things. There's like clear, proven scientific facts that point that out. Let's see here. Is there a good dinosaur-themed game for a 5-year-old? There's probably some. I want to say Dinosaur Tea Party, but that might be too much for a 5-year-old. There's probably some good ones that I'm not thinking of at this point in time. Last year in the top 100 People's Choice, Pandemic was number 2, but it wasn't combined with Pandemic Iberia on the list. Would it have been number 1 if you had? And then you combine them this year? I didn't combine any pandemics this year. I don't think Pandemic Iberia is anywhere even close to the top. Some advice: you really can't do both Dice Tower and Disney simultaneously. If I've tried a very disappointing results. If you want to go to a scheduled time apart from Dice Tower, some people did it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't done both. So far, the Avengers 4 cut is at 3 hours long. That's it. I watch an 8 hours Avengers movie. Who will win at Imagineers between me and Daryl Andrews? Well, I'm pretty sure Z and Sam are in that game too. So I'll go with me. I feel like I might win. Probably not, but I might. Fun fact, Quebec doesn't allow colored cream soda. Oh. Why? Oh, let's see here. Do you dream about board games? I have dreamed about board games, but not very often. It happens occasionally. Whoops. Apparently my phone is on. My apologies. But that was an important call. That was letting the, well, I would say the post office, but I don't think there's a postal delivery today. But I was letting the package guy in my gate to deliver packages. Maybe he was being Betrayal Legacy, so that you can stop hearing about it. Let's see here. Have you heard anything about a possible Pulsar expansion? I've heard nothing about them. Fried turkey is worth burning a house or two down. Frying is not dangerous at all if you follow the policies. If you put a frozen turkey in boiling oil, it will cause a fire. If you put normal turkey in boiling oil, it will not. It's kind of like saying if you cars are dangerous if you put matches in the gasoline tank. Well, no kidding. So don't do that. I don't get it. I have never had any kind of accident with the boiling oil pot because I put it in. One time, someone from the Dice Tower, and I won't mention who it was, but it wasn't me or Z or Derek or Kenny, threw an ice cube into the oil thing just to see what happened, and the whole thing went over. The oil came to the top, and it was on the ground, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I was like, wow, if one small ice cube did that, yeah, that'd be crazy. I thought the ice cube thing was crazy. Well, Brandon Sanderson never finished his Stormwater Archives. He's written 3 of 10 so far at a rate of 4 years between books. Well, I feel like his track record for writing books is really high. Cats are responsible for the Irish potato famine, too, for sure. Can I join Chief Sokoto in his war against cats? I want to serve. No, it's a small band of people. The training takes forever anyway. But the fact that so many board games have cats and post photos of them on social media next to the games, what is that saying? Well, just a lot of people are deceived. That's just how it works, you know. I mean, a lot of people like cats. What can I do? I can't change that. Cats are responsible for the thefts at the Essen Spiel. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. How would you compare Detective versus Chronicles of Crimes? I know that almost every reviewer is avoiding to do that. Well, I don't know that it's avoiding. It's just because if you've played both, you know that they're extremely different games. I think a good way to compare it would be, say, Risk compared with, you know, World at War or World in Flames. They're just very different games. You can't really compare them. One is a light game, the other is a heavy game. They both have the same theme, and you're both working together cooperatively to figure out something, but they're both very detective. You are interviewing people, you are writing down notes, you are trying to figure out everything. It's a very heavy, involved game with research involved. I like it. Chronicles of Crime is very light. This person said this about this person. It's a very light back and forth. I like Chronicles of Crime better, but I wouldn't necessarily compare them. I would play them both with different groups of people, actually. Did you have any difficulties doing videos with your daughter? My daughter wants to do videos but hides when the camera's on. Well, I mean, that's up to you. Not all my kids are on camera, if you notice. I have 7 kids. You do not see them all. Some of them are better than others. Have you ever binged a movie or TV series? Oh, for sure. I don't do it much anymore. I don't have time to binge stuff. But my wife and I certainly, when we were younger, we certainly binged a lot of TV shows. The Dice Tower cat needs a cat mascot at the office. I don't believe that's even a little true. Let's see here. Nemesis will get played eventually, just like every other game. Hey, I caught up on questions almost. That's exciting. Ha 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 ha. Is the Tales of Arabian Nights sequel about Arthurian legends lost to the sands of time? I wonder. because I know that they were working on that when Zev was with Z-Man Games. Now that Z-Man has moved, I mean, that Zev has moved on the WizKids, I don't actually know the status on this. I feel like I asked about it at some point, but I don't remember exactly what the response was. Alrighty, well, I think I've caught up on the questions. And some of you are like, why haven't you answered this question? Because I answered these questions before, or, you know, whatever. Some of them I've answered actually in this Q&A itself. But ignore Kabuki Kids' thing about not studying, kids. Studying is important. Salt or sugar? Salt, I guess. I like sweet stuff, but I like salted cashews better. Yeah, that's right. I said cashews. Cashews are amazing. I'm going to eat the sriracha cashews in front of you. Do you know anything about the reprint of Fury of Dracula? We have it. But it looks the same as the last one. Alrighty, well, that is it for today, folks. I really appreciate, once again, you coming by. I appreciate the questions. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. Got to get back to reviewing games and stuff. But until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. You've been watching Live Q&A on the Dice Tower. Woohoo! And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's the November edition of the Great Dice Showdown. We have the Blue Horde team is showing up in their bright blue colors, really sharp-looking uniforms, Bob, against the white dice. Fewer of them, of course, but with some bigger numbers. Last time, actually, we can't remember who won last time, Bob. It's not really that big of a deal. All right, well, let's see what happens here. Here we go. We would count some numbers, but we're kind of in a hurry. Let's just get the race started here. The home team gets the nicer one here, so 8-5. One of the Horde has already been eliminated. 12-5. Two of the Horde has been eliminated. So far, it's been a very interesting 27-1. That elimination is so hard that the Horde was weeping as he went off. 5-2. This is a good start for the home team. 12-4. That is 5 Horde in a row. And 3-6. All right, well, the 3-sided die was eliminated, but no one is really expecting anything else. That no one expected him to do well. That's fine. 12-2. The Horde is not having a good start to this matchup here. A 6-4. A 6-2. Huh. Well, the Horde is still going to depend on their giant numbers, 9-4, but that does not seem to be helping them today, Bob. I'm wondering if maybe, 6-3. A 4-sided die has been eliminated. So far, no major upsets yet with the 6-4, the 5-sided die. So far, the 3 dice that have been eliminated from the Midnight Ice team have all been dice that are smaller than a D6, which is to be expected. Here we have a 10-1, a 7-1. This is really an amazing first hit against 13-3. An amazing first hit. Now we're wondering if this... All right, we're having some problems here, Bob. There we go. The 30-sided has a hard time fitting through the holes. 9-4. There's some... a 1-1. Double elimination. So here the Horde takes out their first one, albeit at the cost to one of their own, of taking out a 15-sided die. 11-1. 4-2. The 6-sided die of the Midnight Ice team has been eliminated. 17-1. A lot of 17-1s here. 4-1. Okay, here's another upset. The 12-sided die has been taken out. And 12-1. Well, that was not a good initial showing for the Horde. Half their team, and not half, but as we look, we're seeing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 of them have been eliminated in round 1, which is a pretty significant number considering they have 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 46. So 19, 46 left. They still have the huge advantage in numbers. Let's see what happens now. A 4 to a 6. Oh, this is might be where the tide turns. The 18-sided die was just taken out. That was a pretty significant. A 6 to 2. Oh my! The 19-sided die was just taken out. The Horde is now having stupid 30-sided die. 17 to 3. All right. The Horde is not upset though. I mean, really taking out two big dice like that, 12 to 6, is pretty significant. 8 to 2. 5 to 4, 8 to 5. All right, the Horde's getting plowed again, but again, 21 to 4. But again, they're not too upset because they feel like with numbers, 6 to 11. Basically, though, we're not. It's not a result of the Horde rolling low, 19 to 5. It's a result of the Midnight Ice team is rolling some of the best numbers in their lives, 8 to 3. I mean, with numbers that high, 4 to 4, a tie. There goes the 8-sided die. Both dice are eliminated here. 10 to 4. And 5 to 5, another wipeout here. And the 7-sided die has been taken out. 3 to 5. 6 to 5. Whew, that was a bit of a close shave there for the Midnight Ice player. 20 to 2. That was kind of a crushing one. All right. Well, only 2 Horde dice won on that time. They still managed to take out 3 dice. But things are not looking good for the Horde even a little. So, here we go. 11 to 6. Man, the Horde is trying hard, but against rolls like these, 11 to 2. What can they do? I don't know. 9 to 3. So long the Horde has reigned supreme. But finally, 14 to 4, we are starting to see them possibly. This may be their first major defeat. 6 to 1. 5 to 6. Oh, there's another Horde win. The 13-sided die is out. 8 to 4. 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. That is actually a required rule in this, that whenever that combination comes up, that song, everyone thinks stops, so that song is done. 23 to 2. 5 to 2. 10 to 6. Wow. This is a major shellacking here. 13 to 2. We have never seen this before. I mean, we've seen the Horde lose, but we've never seen them get just murderized like this. I mean, there's still the chance that they could win, of course. 2 to 2. Ah, here they are. They just took out the large 26-sided die. That's a pretty impressive, hit. But still, it's not looking good. The Horde is down to 4, 8, 12, 16, 18. And the Midnight Ice, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's really bad odds. 4 to 3. Okay, the Horde wins, and they just took out the 9-sided die. 11 to 1. Nope. 22 to 1. Wow, like not only is the Horde like getting beat, but they're getting beat down. 16 to 5. 24 to 3. The referees are kind of hoping the 30-sided die gets eliminated just so they have to stop putting him through. 3 to 2. Man, Horde, you had your chance there. 4 to 13. Things are not looking good for the Horde. This is a 23 to 3. This is really sad in a sense. 2 to 4. Oh! A 10-sided was taken out by the Horde. 2 to 8. 6 to 9. Oh, just not having a good day here for the Horde. 11 to 2. The Horde is now down to 8. It is mathematically not impossible, but improbable for the Horde to win at this point. 19 to 1, especially with results like that. 10 to 2. Midnight Ice is having the greatest game of their lives. 16 to 6. This is insane. The crowd is just like flummoxed. 5-1. Oh, the Horde is just not 6-5. And the crowd goes wild because a 20-sided was just taken out. All right. I mean, that's another one. A 2-1. The 11-sided die. Back-to-back wins for the Horde. 6-11. Well, then there's that. 5-12. All right. Things are not looking good. The Horde is down to 2 dice. And they're up against 2, 4, 6, 8. The smallest die here is the 10-sided die. So we're actually going to start with the smallest dice and see if the Horde can beat them. 6-4. Nope. Again, fighting the smallest die. It's the only chance. Horde just has to stay in it now. 6-4. Wow. The crowd's a little somber because, you know, usually you come into these games expecting a good matchup, but the Midnight Ice just wailed on the Horde. We have not seen something like this in a long time. The Midnight Ice team, they're refusing to shake pips with the Blue Dice team. That's very unfortunate. They've gotten their vehicle and they're driving away. That's probably better than the last time we kind of saw a rampage at the park, but that was some bad sportsmanship, and I hope that we don't see such things again. The Blue Horde has been beaten and discouraged thanks to the basically the Eurogamer catch-up mechanism committee. They're going to probably have a few more people on their team next time, and I heard that there's a new 6-sided team that's going to come in, and they have some pretty confidence that they're going to whoop up on Midnight Ice, who is going to be required to come back. But very sad. There goes their bus. And hopefully we will see some better gaming next time and some better sportsmanship. Very, very disappointing.